Hey y'all, welcome back to the Runners Club podcast. I'm your co-host, Courtney.
And it's Ian. How y'all feeling today?
Whoa, so we're back. And I mean, clearly our guests have leveled up the situation for us. I mean, like we're still in a Nike studio. And
right
I mean,
here.
I'm blown away. Are you blown away?
Listen, I don't even know
the
if
price
this
went up.
I don't even know if this one is coming first or the first one is coming first.
Right.
But like this is the second one for the day.
Yeah.
And I'm just this so many stars, so many medals just floating around my head right now. It's crazy right now. Yeah. I love it. Go ahead. I've been loving watching you introduce the guests. But
I mean, I try my best. Like, you know, I like to. So we're in the Nike studio podcast room.
Yeah, look, they flipped the whole little, because this was a boardroom office, but they was like, nah, we got Runners Club podcast coming through. We finna add an extra mic.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We got a whole little interface. Yeah, me and Courtney not passing the mic back and forth for our guests.
We're new. Mic. You know, we're like, you guys have been patient with us, like we keep saying, so we appreciate you. But you see, like today, you're gonna hear it clearly.
This official setup right now.
Yeah. So, okay, let's get into it. Today, we are joined with the woman of the hour, okay? Her name is Raevyn Rogers.
Yes.
And she's our guest.
Olympic.
I'm sorry. Let me put respect on the name,
yes.
Okay? Olympic runner, Nike athlete. She's in the building. How are you doing?
Good. How are y'all?
Good.
We're really calm. We're feeling really relaxed right now. If you can't tell, this is us on 5.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited because y'all are doing a good job.
Amazing. Yeah. I mean, what brings you to Chicago?
So I'm here with Nike. I had kind of mentioned I wanted to go to Chicago. My rep was like, "Oh, you should do the marathon." I'm like, "Bet, of course." Like, that's where it's at. And so it's my first time here. In Chicago and at a marathon in general.
Really?
Yeah.
So you watching a marathon?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. I'm excited.
Where are you going to be at? She's going to be in the lap of luxury. Okay.
Don't be downtown waiting. Look, listen. We're going to be on 35th in Indiana.
She's going to come down there. Okay. It's okay. And it's okay if you don't. It's okay. I'm just saying, like, where are you going to be at?
They told us by the Nike hospitality.
Okay.
I think by the finish line.
Okay, yeah. You can be chilling. It's gonna be good. You'll be chilling. You'll be nice with your bubble water.
Pull up 35th Indiana. We plan on. I plan on showing up out there because I want to see the elite runners go.
Right.
Yeah.
So 35th Indiana. We'll be right there. Maybe afterwards, I'll grab you some Harold's chicken real quick.
Where's that? What's that?
So that's the Southside chicken
Harold's
spot.
Chicken?
That's
the Chicago.
That's like the chicken spot.
Yeah, you get the
it depends on where you're at. Like, see, I'm just.
That's a good one right there on 35th Indiana.
Yeah, West Side doesn't claim Harold.
Yeah, they got Uncle Remus.
Yes,
yeah.
But
is it chicken war?
It's really like a sauce war.
Harold.
A sauce war.
It's more of a sauce situation because their mouth sauce is a little bit different.
Yeah,
and stuff like that. Then now, supposedly Remus has better chicken and Harold's has better sauce.
Ooh, okay.
But it's still pretty fire. Give you a little taste of Southside.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see. I mean, being from Texas and all,
Y'all do chicken down there?
We do everything. Everything fried.
Every time I meet someone from Texas, it's big Texas.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. Look, you don't know when somebody's from Texas, and I love it. The energy is high. It's very much like when you are in the space, you know it. Like when someone's from Texas, you know.
I feel like, because I don't know, I got to go to Texas and really.
You got to go to Houston. Food. That's the best spot.
Okay. Yeah. I might have to.
Right.
Where?
I feel the type of way about the fact that y'all big thing is like, was it Tex-Mex?
Yeah.
That's like the staple for Texas, which is basically white Mexican food.
Well, I mean, the thing is, there's like a big Hispanic culture there, so like that's what the Tex-Mex is. It's like. Okay. But Tex-Mex is big, and then we smoke everything. We barbecue everything.
I love it.
You got to fry everything.
I love it.
So you guys have to come down.
Okay.
So let us know where are you from exactly in Texas?
I'm from the South Side.
Okay, but tell us what ward.
I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, you got to be specific.
I grew up in Hiram Clark, and so my grandma lives in Sunnyside, which is majority Black neighborhood, not far from Third Ward. But the thing about Houston is that it's a big city, but there's a bunch of like small cities, but like really like neighborhoods. And so like Missouri
like
City,
suburbs.
Right? So Travis Scott's from like Sugar Land, you know, which is kind of like not in Houston. But Houston's so big that there's 2 airports. So if you know,
she said Travis Scott ain't from Houston.
No, he from Houston, but it's Sugar Land.
No, it's like Chicago. So Moggs be from like the south suburbs, like Calumet, was it Richmond Park or whatever? Like
you just be like a little bit more specific about where you actually like live or like where you went to school.
You're not from Chicago. Your area code don't say 606 nothing.
Right. Okay. You know, we 281 over here. We 832.
So it sounds so y'all got Houston and you got the surrounding suburbs, kind of like Chicago does.
Yeah. So like I went to like a Houston public school, like in the city of Houston, that type of thing.
Got you. Okay. That's mad look. Because at first you was sounding super, super Southern. You just hitting us with wards and shit. I'm like, man, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, okay, but I got you. Situation. Okay, boom.
So yes, we're here and we want to get into your running career, obviously. But I kind of want to get it started off with just like you, because you got personality. You show up, your hair's done, your lashes is on, fly, and like it's a whole thing. And like, can you just explain what your thought process goes into just like getting ready for a race, and like, does it make you feel better and race better?
Well, for sure. I mean, the camera's there. You gotta be camera ready.
Okay, we were gonna say, is it all for the camera?
Gotta be camera ready.
Okay, so it is a little bit.
I mean, if you're gonna be on TV, you gotta look the part.
See, like, I know I'm podium. Okay, I know I'm gonna be up there on the podium, so I gotta be ready for my pictures. I can't be up there like who did it and what.
No, but at Oregon, I mean, like that was a big part of our culture. Like to just like if we go and travel anywhere, because of course, like Oregon has a culture in itself for the track team. And so when I was there, the girls I was with, like everybody was like, bomb, you had the bundles. Everybody had the bundles, had the claws, had the lashes. So it was a thing, and I feel like it became like a thing that was associated with like the women of Oregon. You're just looking apart, and then everyone's talented as well. And so that's just an add-on.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So what's your favorite thing to get ready? Like, what is the one thing that like you need in order to just know that you're ready for the race?
I mean, I definitely gotta have the face beat. Yeah. The face gotta be beat. The brows gotta be done. But I feel like, and the setting spray gotta be on it for sure.
What?
The setting spray.
Okay.
Gotta have the setting spray.
Okay.
Got you. Because you crossed that finish line, and I was like, damn, shorty, ain't nothing moving. She looked like at the start line. I was like,
Wait, she said, okay, I'm ready for my picture.
Listen, let's go.
Yeah.
Y'all are funny. But I mean, that's just, because like a lot of the times our races are like really late in the day. And so you just need something to kind of take up time too. And so just kind of getting ready and getting cued and doing all of that. It just helps also take up time and then not be so focused on like stressing out about the race.
Yeah. That's smart. I'm with that. And then so I recently, because I honestly like I was telling Ian, like I recently discovered y'all at my marathon watch party, Olympian Marathon watch party. So we was watching some of your races as we was waiting on the marathon, or like after we watched the marathon, and we still want to watch more Olympic things. And so I'm just getting into learning who you guys are in the track world and everything.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I finally followed you on Instagram leading up to this and everything. I found you on there. And first of all, you got like several movie trailers on your Instagram.
Yeah, we have to.
But your birthday one was I was like whole time like this. What is Nike just giving her like a production budget? Like what's going on?
Vision,
But the birthday party was looking nice. How was it for you?
It was fun, right? Yeah, that was fun. And the thing is like, it was fun because the guy that did the video footage, because that's an area that I want to get better in. Like, I'm cool with like posting pictures and I try to be like switching it up, but I understand that I want to get into more of like adding more variety to my page and media content. And so he actually was somebody that ran summer track and he had been doing really good. And so I had him at the party and he did good. It was a vibe, my mom was dancing, so that was fun. But everybody was there, and it was just this one moment I feel like that everybody needed, like post kind of 2020, just to celebrate and just kind of like inspire, you know, one another and to move forward, you know.
I love it.
So, you know, I'm trying to, my next party, I want the same people there. So it's growth. You know, we going
And was
together.
that like, because I'm not sure the timeline, that was after the Olympics. So was that also like
that was my medal celebration? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was
so it was your birthday and medal celebration.
Mm-hmm.
I love
that.
Yeah.
How are you feeling right now after the Olympics? Like I know there was the initial like emotion, but then it's like now, like how is the emotion continue to carry over?
Well, it's definitely, I mean, this whole Olympic journey has opened my eyes to just so much like seeing how much of my community has been supportive and how it's affected them. I mean, as an athlete, you know, I have high expectations for myself. And so, of course, when it's me on the line and me, you know, with the result of my races, that's like a personal thing. Mm-hmm. But this is something that's been able to really kind of inspire many more. And I haven't had anything else that's like been this kind of deep of an effect on people.
This is legit.
You're saying, I mean, I love what you're saying is that like it's affected you, but it's affected others. So like, what is that response?
Well, I mean, like I've been able to really, when I look back at it, because when I came home, my school, because I went to a private school, so I went to the Kincaid school, and of course that's a different community. And so to be able to be like the first Olympian there, ever, you know, to be the first Olympian ever there. And they went all out, like had like a Raevyn Rogers Day. They named the school meet that they'll have in March after me. So it'll be the Raevyn Rogers meet. I know. The invitation. So, I mean, just to see how I impacted them, that was just something that was very dear to my heart. And then to celebrate with my summer track team, which is in a different part of Houston. Like I talked about, it's in Missouri City. So that's like how I said Sugarland, there's Missouri City. So that's another part of Houston, different district. And so to be able to really have an effect and celebrate with my summer track team, because I've been running since I was 5, they're the ones that have really seen me grow. Like my old coaches and everything were there. I got a proclamation there. So I have a day in Missouri City. So that was exciting. And then to tie it all in, thank you. And then to tie it all in with Houston, like the city of Houston, and have a day there. It's just been like, you know, it's big, and you know, Texas is big, but it's Houston, big like Texas, you know, Houston is big. And so that's, you know, being able to share with so many different communities that I've been a part of has been really rewarding.
I love that. Since you was 5 years old, she's been running for 20 years.
I know, Like still out here.
Cold as hell.
Thank you.
I mean, like, I'm sorry. Do you have any questions?
I mean, I got a lot of questions.
I know we got a lot of questions. I'm trying, you know, and we're getting through it, but I'm just like, since you have been running for 20 years now, and you are an Olympian, like, and you clearly care about the effect that you have on other people. Like, do you have any goals specifically right now that you're kind of mulling over? And I mean, you know, no pressure to share something that you're currently working on, but like, how do you want that to manifest in the future?
Well, I mean, of course, like, I think I've been at a point where I'm thinking more intentional now. And really seeing how it affects people. I really want to make a difference. And not just be like, oh, like, we remember her. Like, I actually want to see how I can get involved in the community. So a big thing that I'm really wanting to do, that I'm going to put out there and manifest, I really want to, like, eventually, you know, God willing, have a sports complex or something that can contribute for support for, like, the athletes in public school in Houston, and for minorities. I mean, because I was blessed to go to a private school that had resources that prepared me for college, but in public school, I mean, they don't have the support like that. And of course, it varies by what school you're zoned to, neighborhood. And there's a bunch of schools that aren't around these neighborhoods that are going to have the support for kids that's talented to go further on and have a platform off of. So I want to find a way to contribute to bridge the pipeline for more of those kids to feel supported, and they're going to school, you know, college on scholarships and stuff.
Right. I love that. I love that energy. I'm really interested on getting, I think both of us, because we are runners, but of course we're road runners, so we run higher distances. Me and her are marathoners and things like that. But you know, there's other distances, 5Ks, 10Ks, halves. And then Courtney is working on an ultra situation. doing a 50K.
Ooh.
And so, yeah, legit, right? And so what I've been noticing, the conversation I've been having since you and I think have been like killing the Olympics and everything, is also seeing more American Black and brown runners doing some of the longer distances, like the 5 and 10K. And because I didn't even know until this year that the marathon had an Olympic event and stuff like that. So I guess I'm leading all that into saying, would you be interested in trying some of those longer distances? Not necessarily marathon, but even outside of just competitively as like a track performer or anything, a track athlete or anything like that. Do you see yourself maybe dipping your toe into the road running space, trying a 5K situation, getting you a little hot chocolate medal or something like that?
I would actually do it. When I was in high school, of course, they have the Susan K. I forgot the whole title, but the breast cancer awareness run. They have a 5K in Houston, and that's all road race. And so I did that in high school, and so of course I could see myself, definitely kind of getting into it, especially because a lot of road races are kind of in the fall. And so, and that's conditioning time. And so that's kind of like a win-win in that.
Oh, okay. I'm happy about that. Let me just be dropping off races in your DMs from now on. Like, hey, it's going all right here. What we doing?
Pop up, pull up.
When is your recovery time? Like, when is your downtime from training?
Yeah, it's been September pretty much.
Right.
And so, but throughout that whole time, I was kind of just doing like a lot of other stuff. So, now I'm at the point where things have slowed down. And I'm able to focus, get back focused mentally and just in general, just having time to myself to kind of think about things.
So I'm curious about like what your team looks like, and then also like you pick the races that you pick the races that you compete in, or do you feel like your coach kind of has?
My coach definitely has a plan.
Okay,
he's and he's a great coach, and he's kind of, he's very intentional about things. Like he's not just just do this. If I'm gonna do something, then it's definitely to help me be better and benefit me in the long run. And so if there's a race, of course, like there was a race at Prairie View. My mom went there. It's HBCU. In Houston. And so I've ran there just, to run at her alma mater.
I love it.
And give back. And, or like if Texas Southern has a meet, like I did TSU relays when I was in high school. Yeah. So, I'm definitely, I've dropped those in and he doesn't mind it. He understands. And he's like, if you want to go here and, do a race or so, then you can definitely do that. So he's been open to it.
It's probably not as hard for you to win. You're like not even doing 100% probably. You're like, yeah, I know I'm gonna win. I'm just here to support.
Right.
For the fun of it. But I love it because when I was doing my research, I was seeing that for 3 years your PR was 157.69. Where in the Olympics you ran a 156.81, right? And you got your bronze medal, you killed it and everything, right? What do you feel like were the shifts that you made in your training and or lifestyle that helped you accomplish that after 3 years?
Yeah, so it's funny because I PR'd with that 157 and I got 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I ran that was my first year pro, and I ran the Diamond League race, and I got 7th place and ran 157. So to have held on to that for so long, it's like, dang, it was like I ran that time because it was a fast race.
Wow.
But then I was kind of reset of having to just actually go back to, to building, dropping my time. But this year was different because in my foundation, how I was raised, being a Christian is a huge part of who I am and what holds me strong. And so this year I made it a priority to, really stay reading my devotionals and making time.
Legit.
And it's been it was wild because it was something that really kind of triggered growth in me. But of course, people people don't like growth because growth has the opposite effect. Like, it's good for you, but it hurts in the whole time.
Yeah.
And I mean, you come to face with a bunch of stuff that you've probably been like trying to get away from, or bad habits that you're trying to break. And that's always hard.
A little shadow work going on.
You know, it's a little hard.
Yeah.
So I started the year, I did like a 4-week break without social media. And we were at training camp, so it was a little easier to just kind of go to practice and then just like, do my devotionals in the morning and have quiet time. And I feel like that kind of set everything going into the season. And then we went into the season and I felt as though, I don't know, this year was so weird because I had so much anxiety. And I've never dealt with anxiety like I have this year.
Right.
But I also haven't dealt with, like, prior to the Olympic trials, I found out I was anemic.
Okay.
So that was the first time I had ever dealt with that. And so just the emotions, of course, while you're trying to get adjusted with a new coach and, communication, it was a little difficult not knowing what was happening when I was putting in all this work and practice. Okay. But once we found out, Olympic trials was the first race back from, finding out I was anemic.
Legit.
And and so, of course, went into it definitely depending on my relationship with my sports psychologist. Okay. And, we got through them, and making that team really kind of helped bring back some of that excitement going into Olympics. And so, I mean, I PR'd at Olympic trials and then PR'd again at Olympics.
Yeah.
But it all came from, I feel like, this foundation that I had to start my year off of.
So it sounds like a lot of the shifts and a lot of changes were like all up here, all in the mind and everything.
And of course, switching groups. I mean, I moved during COVID. I moved from Philadelphia to Portland because I switched coaches.
Okay.
And so, of course, when you're a professional, I used to think going into it that like, there was this idea that it's not good to switch coaches. And, but it wasn't anything bad. I mean, both of my coaches were great. And so it still works for me at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But this program I'm in now, it's a little bit more structured like college. I mean, if you think about it, college helps you because it's consistent resource.
Right.
And then the professional part, you go professional and some people lose those resources. So it becomes a little hard. Yeah. But going back to this group, providing resource and accountability, having our strength coach and, it's a big thing. It's huge. Having your strength coach and you making sure you at practice, showing up and doing what you need to do. It's big. And so just having more people around to hold me accountable, I feel like that went into it as well.
That's smooth. Sometimes you got to make those shifts, and also like another thing, like having fresh eyes on you.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, when we're working on a podcast or if I'm constantly talking to the same person while I'm running, asking them the same things, you start to miss things because you're accustomed to seeing or I'm accustomed to hearing it and stuff. So just getting some fresh eyes on you to see what are the new things you need to change, or how can you get taken to another level. So that's kind of surprising to hear that the stigma was like, nah, stick with the same person like forever.
Yeah.
As long as you can. So
it's just like, cool. And when it's like something where everyone understands that you're just moving on to the next thing, like it's okay. Like it's like certain people are in your lives for a purpose and a time, and then you just kind of move on. So,
and it doesn't have to be bad. I feel like people are like, "Oh, what's the problem? Like, was there beef?" I'm like, "No, there's no beef. Like, relax."
Life.
Like the most amazing word that I've heard from these interviews today is professional and stuff like that. And I didn't think about it, but I am kind of shocked to see you two athletes use the word professional because it really is. It's not a game,
No.
Like
it's a career.
Exactly.
If you pay taxes, it's not a game. I mean,
right. And sometimes in your profession, you have to shift to get to that next step. It's no different from, climbing a corporate ladder for certain things. You need a coach to get you there. You need to make a certain move to get you to that point. So I love it.
Yep.
I love the energy.
So I have a couple questions, but I'm like, okay, first of all, where do you keep your medal? We want to know. Like, we have to know, where do you keep it? Do you take it out? Do you look at it?
No, it's funny because I'm the type of person where I'm like, oh, like, this was fun. And then
you move on. That's hilarious.
Yeah, so I'm like, but this is the longest time that I've actually like really enjoyed everything that came with this experience. And that's something I had to like honestly pray for because I know how I am. And so being able to enjoy Olympics to the fullest and like from getting there like 5 days early to, you know, competition and then getting a medal, like the whole thing I was able to enjoy and then coming home. And so now I'm with the mentality like, okay, this is fun. This is a way. Now I'm ready for the next year, the next chapter. And that's kind of just how I've been. But most of my medals and trophies are in Houston.
At your mom's house?
Yeah, but I had my medal actually. My mom was like, you should bring it. I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to. And I did. I brought it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You might want to see it.
It's not with me, but it's
yeah. Right now, I need to know. Okay. Yeah, we have never been in any type of proximity to an actual Olympic medal.
Oh, y'all got to see it. I'll bring it.
You know, I mean, if bring it if you want to. Your belongings.
No, I like to share that experience.
That's major.
Yeah, but then also, like, I don't think people talk about that as much. It's like when you lose, you hear, you know, it was just a moment, you know, take what you can learn from it and then, you know, move past it. Whereas wins, I feel like you kind of got to do the same thing or it will become kind of like a weight. It'll become a pressure because now you focusing on this previous win and now you stuck like, oh, I got to do that good. I got to do that good. And you're not paying attention to the next thing that you need to do. And so I really like the fact that you are able to give it that moment, give it the love, be in it, but then say, all right, that's going to stay over there instead of having a whole room in your place where you put your medals, where you seeing it every day.
Yeah.
That's a lot. So I love that. I think that's really smart and really will help you be.
You always got to find ways to get better. You always have to, I feel like, raise the bar higher and higher. I feel like the bar never becomes too high. Like there's always something that you can aim for that you haven't accomplished.
Wow. So, okay, I read somewhere that you're an artist. You majored in art. Yeah. So, all right. So, what's up with your art right now? Like, do you feel like do you practice it?
You're a painter.
You paint and then also I read somewhere that you want your art to be like in museums.
Yeah, like MoMA.
Yeah. So, like, where is it at on the social media is my question first. And then also, like, what's your relationship with your art right now? I know, like, with your career and, like, your passion for running, too, I'm sure that that can sometimes be conflicting. So I want to know. Yeah,
so the art, because I paint big. So a lot of my paintings, when I was at U of O, they made us, like your final project of each year had to be over 4 feet. So I have, like, my first one was a 4x4. My second one was a 4x6. And then my third one, I have another one that's like, I don't even know the measurements. It's real big, but I have another one. My last one was like a 3x7. So they're real big. They're in storage. And it's tough when you have moving companies because you got to move the paintings too. And so,
go get my paintings as well.
Right. Yeah. And so right now where I'm at, I feel like the thing is that I don't feel stable enough to get back into it. Like when I moved to Philadelphia, you know, because for 4 years, I was in a studio with space and like a classroom, you know? And you have a space that you dedicate to coming in and like working on your painting and getting better. Yeah. Right. But I haven't found that yet because I've also been moving so many times. And so I'm just waiting to get in a place where I'm stable. Like, okay, things have kind of calmed down. We're not about to get up and move again. And then I want to get back into it. But I did a couple paintings, like maybe 2 or 3 when I was in Philadelphia. I did one for my friend for her engagement present, and then I did one for another friend. But girl, they're all in storage. Yeah, they're all in storage.
Okay, so then, like, how do you express yourself artistically? I guess that's like with your hair and like the way you dress and like just express yourself.
Because you got to scratch that itch.
I know. Like, so I've been scratching it with interior design.
I love it.
Okay,
I love it.
So is it a new place that you're at right now? Is that what you're saying? Like,
yeah. So painting is on the whole. I've been really into interior design. So like, I love Home Goods, love West Elm, love Pottery Barn, like love all of them.
Aesthetic in a couple words, we gotta know.
Yeah, the aesthetic.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the vibes. I like the glamorous vibes.
So you're glamour.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm more of like right now, a project I took on for my room in my mom's house. I'm like, of course, you have your room that you grew up in, but I'm changing it. Like, I got a whole new bed and just everything, and I'm changing it to more of like a boutique hotel room vibe. Because I've been in a lot of hotels, so I'm like, if I'm coming to my mom's house to, off season, I want to be able to relax, and you relax in hotel rooms, and so I'm changing that whole vibe.
Mm-hmm. I love it. So you're Texas through through and through, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Thank you.
One of my good friends is from Texas. Just like you're giving me a lot of that. So what's next for you right now? Like, are you said that you had September off, it's now October. Does that mean that you're starting up with training again?
Yeah, so I'm about to start back with base training. And of course it's my coach, like, he was a runner, so things are just ease into it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm kind of at that point where I'm trusting him, just like easing into it. But I've also been volunteering at my high school with the cross country team. Oh. So just like helping with my coach from high school with the cross country team, and then also just like getting ready to gear up for my season. It's been a healthy balance where I'm not too like, oh man, I got to do a run. It's like, oh, I could do my run or something while I'm with the girls.
Got it.
Yeah, so it helps it a little bit.
Yeah. So, okay, last question. We got to wrap up. We, our athletes that are in our community in Chicago, and broader, we're a new podcast, but so we're mainly here in Chicago,
Yes.
Shout out to you if you're not in Chicago listening to this. Thank you. With the marathon happening on Sunday, by the time that this releases, everyone would have raced already. So we want to give you a moment to speak to them directly, maybe give them advice on what to do next, or just what it means to just be a runner and where you find your motivation.
Yeah. Being a runner, there's also, when you're a runner, you possess this type of grit and will and want to get better and improve, but you also have to face directly the days where you're not feeling as good or you don't produce as good. But, that's all a part of the process, and you have to remember that it's a journey, and there's a reason why you're in it, which started with your heart of running and your love of competitiveness, because that's why you're out there competing. And so just be patient with yourself, and any progression is still progression. And, a loss is not a loss, if it's helping you get better and stronger.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's really, that's all we need to do.
Yes.
That's
I love it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you guys. Y'all are fun.
Nice to have you. I can't wait to run with you tomorrow.
My gosh.
I would be on the bike, unfortunately, but
on the bike.
Yeah, I'm leading it. So I just got to make sure everybody's getting to where they need to be. If I need to stop a car or something, that's just road running. We running in the street.
I'm excited.
It's going to be fun. And you'll be on the south side running through Washington Park. So you'll be around the way, not too far away from where the Obamas live. Their home is still in Hyde Park.
Oh, wow.
Which is just down the street. So,
oh, man.
It's a historical area.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, 35th Indiana, don't forget.
We're
going to have some brews out there. We're going to have some water.
I'm going to put that in my notes so I can remember.
So, thank you again for joining us. And we'll just continue to keep an eye out for you and continue to watch your growth, because we're very, very inspired. And we're just saying to another athlete that it's we want to see more of you, of you as a runner. I feel like you as a well-known runner, it's I think it's it's undervalued as far as it's underrated. I feel like y'all, we care so much about you, and I feel like your fame, it's just we want to see more.
Yeah.
They need to show us more of your races. They need to just show, we see you in the Olympics and we see you in the other big races, but it's I just want you to know that you have a large community that is watching.
Yep.
Oh, thank you.
Legit. I was happy as hell. When I saw you running Olympics, it was I want to see out. More of these races need to be televised.
Yeah.
So we could cheer for y'all. Like, it needs to happen. I don't want to wait another 4 years to watch you run.
Yeah, we can't do that.
Right.
But I mean, you're gonna be killing it. We're gonna watch it. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, track is going. It's getting better. Yeah. So hopefully, we just keep moving in the right direction.
Let's go. Fucking go.
Yeah.
I love it.
Amazing.
Okay.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
And you have anything else?
No, I wish.
I know.
Because ain't nobody came and knocked on the door yet. So I wish I had one.